And we're back here, second hour main event. Appreciate you joining us here on live on YouTube. Of course, we're live at 8 a.m. here, 8 to 10. And then, of course, if you haven't noticed, for those of you that catch us on demand, we have the whole show up for those of you that just like to watch the whole show continuously. And we've started putting up over the last couple of weeks, like part 1 and part 2, or hour 1, hour 2. For those of you that can only watch a little bit at a time and on demand. So it's up there as well for you on the YouTube page. We're just trying to be accommodating as possible for y'all out there as well. I know. Well, it's anything because it's all Dale's old friends going, we can't watch a full 2 hours. We have to break it up for him. It's like just like dinner. We got to mash it up, feed it to him as well. Don't forget, we do have a text line, 623-252-6670. Of course, hit us up also on X if you'd like. For those of you there, if you don't want to join the YouTube chat, you can hit us up on X. Anytime you're watching or listening, hit us up there as well. And, oh, Dale.
Steven. It was a great day for you yesterday. You know, most people look at Arizona sports and the extra innings, the blown saves, things like that. Now you're going to talk about your boy Fitzgerald Light, Marvin Harrison. And
the good news is I'm going to save some money with that Hall of Fame speech for Marv.
Oh, yeah. Because you said you're going to fly in.
I won't be going to that. There won't be one, so I don't have to worry about it. No, in all seriousness, receivers drop passes, folks. They do. And it's practice. And it happens. It's just when that's your MO and that's your question mark, every drop pass brings up questions, and not just with teammates, not just with fans, but I'm sure it affects you even more. Like, oh man, I just dropped that. If you don't know, I'm not going to play the video because I don't know if it's who did it or whatever, but they're running some crossing patterns, and his defender dropped off him. His defender wasn't on him. Ball was perfectly right in the numbers, straight to the ground. And it's just the more that it's happened. Now he's had a couple of those, and like I said, it happens. Carson Beck's not throwing the ball downfield at all. He's doing 5-yard patterns still. He's missed captain check down right now in camp, from what I've been seeing, and stuff like that as a rookie. So you're going to have those types of things. It's just when that's your MO, you're expected to have a big season. It's just like we talked about with Sewald. You have a shorter leash. And if you're dropping easy balls in practice, it's easy for people to be like, here we go. Kid can't get it. Kid can't figure it out. And you can't tell me, I know you professional athletes like to pretend that you're all invincible and nothing bothers you. But you have bad games, man. That can affect you. Bad quarters, bad plays, that can affect you.
Yes, it can. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't yesterday the first day in full pads?
Yes, it was. Nobody was on him, though. Like I said, it was.
But I'm saying you're wearing shoulder pads.
Yes.
Which is different than catching without shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Obviously. Duh.
Oh, I mean, that's true.
But a lot of times you can catch the ball with your body.
Yeah. He had his arms. I did pay attention to that. He had his arms out. It didn't hit his body. He had his arms out. So it wasn't one of those body catches he liked that bounces off his pads and falls. It wasn't like that. It's just, obviously everybody's watching Marv. No doubt about it, and stuff like that. But everybody drops practice balls. It happens. But he's just one of those guys that, hey, if it's a little overthrown and you drop it, okay. If he's got to go down and he doesn't get it, okay, it's early. Man, this was just a standard route. And I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe I made it up in my own mind, Dale, but I thought I saw some shrugging of shoulders afterwards. Some body language stuff. Maybe it's me mentally seeing that.
Maybe you were shrugging your shoulders so it looked like everybody else was.
I saw it and I went, okay, all right. So it's something being watched. You got to worry about the confidence more. What I'm getting at now, it's early in practice, so maybe he's trying to figure out the routes that he needs to run as he's learning the playbook. Dale, maybe that's it, right?
Catching the ball for a guy as talented as Marvin Harrison Jr. should come second nature.
Yeah, if it's anywhere near him.
Yeah.
If it hits you in the hand, you should have that. And it wasn't like he caught it and then was looking upfield too early. It wasn't like I know I would just say away from the mic, but it wasn't like that at all. It was just brutal. And it's like I said, anybody else does that, Dale, and we're all gonna go, I dropped one. All right, cool. That's the problem with it. But the Cardinals have an opportunity. They need to be on the phone yesterday. What'll it take? The Bucs and quarterback Baker Mayfield, they're expected to end contract extension talks. The plan now is for Mayfield to play this season on his final year of his contract, scheduled to become a free agent in March. Let's do it, Dale. Make it happen. Let's manifest this into working order here. How many years does Baker Mayfield have left?
I would think probably at least 5.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. Is there anybody upcoming in this draft that you think is going to have a Baker Mayfield type career? Now, you've researched it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's possible. Arch Manning could possibly have one.
Baker Mayfield's 31 years old.
Oh, he's got 10 years left. Come on. Easy. He's going to play until he's 45. He's a little bit more physical than Tom Brady was.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not necessarily saying trade, although I would like to see that. Free agent next March. Start signing up. Man, nobody in the draft's going to be Baker Mayfield, if you catch my drift. And I'm a big fan of signing guys or trading for guys or getting guys that you can't find in the draft, right? I'm telling you, Dale, wouldn't that be the move that now we're talking Cardinals. I'm dreaming a little bit because we're talking Cardinals.
Dreaming is free, Steve, as
But
they
wouldn't
say.
play Jacoby Brissett $15 million to start for him. What makes you think they're going to pay what Baker Mayfield's going to command it? 40, 50, $60 million.
Yeah, see, Baker to me is kind of a little bit of a confusing thing because, yes, he's definitely a big-time upgrade, but is he a $50 million a year quarterback?
No. I see, I'm with you. I love Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I do too.
But then I'm like, yeah, is he that good?
Yeah.
I agree with you. On that. But he's way of an upgrade. He's better than anybody you'll get in that draft next year. But that's the other side of it. But that's your problem. Even if you're going to draft somebody next year, what did the Raiders quarterback just sign for? It was a lot, $47 million a year or something like that.
I forget.
Mendoza. Let me look it up here real quick.
Oh, Mendoza?
Yeah.
No, not
No, I
47.
mean, not a year. You know.
No, I think it's
Put Carlos Mendoza.
no 40 in the 40s, but that's for 4 years.
Yeah, it's for the 4 years
Yeah.
contract here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look it up here. Okay. $57.27 million 4 years. Yes. Fully guaranteed. Option for the 5th year. 57 over 4 years.
Wow, that's gone way up.
Yeah. I thought it was 40 something. So that's what I'm saying is if you have the 1 or 2 pick, that's what you'll be paying roughly, a little bit more, but you'll be paying around that over 4 years. So it's a better deal to have a guy on a rookie contract. But do you
can play.
But do you want to win now or do you want to possibly win if the guy works out? Dale? I'm going to argue. How are you going
to argue this?
The Cardinals, in 2 to 3 years, the Seahawks are going to be coming down. The Niners are going to be coming down.
The Rams will
be coming down.
Eventually.
They're still going to be good, don't get me wrong, but they're going to be all Super Bowl contenders in 2 to 3 years. What about like Baker Mayfield? Yeah, next year might be a little rough. But the year after that, when those teams are coming down, oh my gosh, Dale. Super Bowl to the moon, baby. Where's the Super Bowl in 3 years? And I need to book a ticket to that right now. So that's it. I'm booking my hotel room. In all seriousness, the Cardinals won't do it. But man, wouldn't that be fun?
It sure would make things interesting. But, when you think about the Cardinals, that's something we really haven't talked about. I mean, honestly, if you're an executive with the Cardinals,
Mhm.
and you're sitting there right now. You know Seattle's much, much better than you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know the Rams are much, much better than
Mhm.
you are. You know San Francisco's much better than you are.
Mm-hmm. I would go Rams, Seahawks, then Niners, in my opinion, if I was ranking them today.
Yeah, Super Bowl champs, it's hard to repeat and all that, I understand. But
Well,
those three,
offensive coordinators, I think is going to be a big problem for them.
and those three vary from much better than you to much, much, much better than you.
Yeah.
So
You're not even in the same
and then you're looking
world.
at next year where you're going to have $150 million salary cap room, blah, blah, all those things. Yeah, I don't think I bring in Baker Mayfield.
With your expectation, you're bringing a rookie quarterback next year. You're not vaulting up into a playoff run next year or the year after that.
Come on. You're
Quarterback's
telling
still
me
learning.
Arch Manning's going to win national champion this year and a Super Bowl's rookie year.
Man, this team's poised for a good veteran quarterback to come in here for a few years and dominate. With the salary cap you got, oh, but I already told you guys, I took the over for the Cardinals, over 3.5. I took it. I think they're going to end up around 5 this year. 5 wins.
You took and you put all 250 on that?
$10. My preseason bets are $10. My regular ones are 5. I should probably switch that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because right now they're holding your $10 hostage,
I know.
Steve.
And I should probably switch that a little bit. Hey, the last thing I want to do before you take off here, Dale, is Kyle Shanahan, and I'll talk more about this after the break, but I wanted to, have you make fun of me a little bit here. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, like I said, it's not as I'm not judging him as a man. I just don't think he's a great football coach. I think he's a really good one. I think he's a really great offensive coordinator. I think as a head coach, he's just not going to get you to the promised land. He's going to get you close to it, and then not get you over the top there. But yesterday he impressed me. If you don't know what he did yet, he was in this car accident. It was quiet. We've been questioning it. And then Bruce Cooper yesterday told us, Steve, they're not sitting on it. He basically said they're not sitting on the news. They didn't know about it because there's no way they would sit on something like this, meaning the local media.
Maybe the sports department, maybe. But he said.
The regular one. That's his story.
Yeah.
But the story got even bigger because then we started seeing reports of he was on his phone when the crash happened. There was a report from the police saying that the 21-year-old kid was at fault. The police didn't clarify that up. This is how great of a person and human Kyle Shanahan. He almost lost an eye in this.
Mm-hmm.
He almost killed somebody else because he was fumbling for his phone while driving.
A lesson to everybody.
And if you haven't driven in Palo Alto area, folks, it's very windy roads. It's not like here where they're straight and stuff like that. He went in front of the media yesterday, described the events of the wreck. He went out and clarified right up front, folks, this accident was my fault. That's what he said. There was no, that kid was swerving. No. This was all my fault. My phone fell between my seats. I was reaching for it. When I looked up, I swerved over and hit this 21-year-old kid's SUV. And that. Right off the bat. Took toll. The police reports were wrong. This was my fault. I was on my phone. For somebody to do that in this day and age, it stood out to me for 2 reasons. One, you don't see that type of talk anymore. People tend to, oh, yes, I went across the line, but, I was on my phone. They lie about it. He's just like, nope, I screwed up.
Right.
And I almost killed 2 people because of it and stuff to that effect. It wasn't a boy. I guess it was a 21-year-old girl as well.
Right.
Stuff like that. But for somebody to do that, to me, just shows you what type of a human being they are. So, the quietness of it, I put him more on the 49ers in the NFL than I do Kyle Shanahan because he's not going to put something out. So I do question why it was hidden. But at the same time, it was hidden. Let's face it. It was hidden because it was his fault. That's why they want to talk about it. I'm going to say it right now. But he showed up, went to the media, and flat out said, folks, this was my fault. I was reaching for my phone, almost killed both of us. Completely my fault. Took the blame for it, did all that stuff. You just don't see that anymore. And that's fantastic what he did yesterday. Not the accident, not digging for the phone, just taking the responsibility of it. It would have been easy for him to pass blame, not want to talk about it. He did the opposite. So I've got to give him a ton of credit in front of Dale here, since I've been pretty much bashing everything, being hidden and all that stuff for the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's interesting because I didn't even think. I thought more about the way that you thought about it, as far as there's a conspiracy, they hid it, they buried it, they did. But when you talk to Bruce, who's been in those meetings,
Yeah. In
you
terms
know,
of the media
yeah,
stuff.
this is not a Bruce Cooper, the sports director kind of thing. This is a Mark Curtis, the anchor.
They lead with
Kind of
story
thing.
accidents like this every day
yeah.
on the news. There was a bad one up by my house over the weekend on Saturday. Man, I think it was Channel 3. Had a blip up on Facebook within 3 seconds of it happening. I swear to God, it just happened and they had a little freeway closed, possible fatality. They live for this stuff, the news
Yeah.
people do. And for it to be kept secret is still a question.
That and a cloud.
a drop of water. They're
Yeah.
out there measuring it. So I don't know if you wanted to say anything on it before you take off here,
No.
other than
Okay, kudos to him for coming out and removing all doubt and questions and all that. Although, again, for him to come out and do that on his own, congratulations, nice job.
Yeah. I mean, would you have liked to see it early? You can nitpick this to say you'd like to see him out there on this 15th talking about it. But his vacation, he was seriously hurt, folks.
Yeah.
He has a major concussion, and he's still dealing with those effects.
Yeah.
He almost lost his eye. This wasn't a small wreck.
No.
So I don't expect him to be out there, but like I said yesterday, where was the press release from the Niners? Coach Shanahan was in an accident. More details coming. He's in the hospital. He's safe. He's going to live. Whatever deal. Dale's going to go play some golf. I'll talk more about that. We'll talk college football here 1 month from today, folks. I'll set the stage here. The great North Carolina, where they're going to be under suspension. A lot of their other people are going to be under suspension if they keep rolling the way they're rolling here. All that and more is coming back. Main event. And we're back here. Main event. Second hour here on Wednesday. Dale's taking off today to go play a little bit of golf. Got to get out there, get his exercise, get into that heat, sweat a little bit. Most importantly, he enjoys taking the money off the other older gentlemen out there in the men's club out there as well. He'll be back tomorrow. And don't forget, Uncle Lou coming in on Thursday as well. UFC fight this weekend. Last weekend was a morning fight out there. Abu Dhabi last weekend is where that was at. This weekend, another faraway place is where it's at. Coming up here, I want to say Serbia. I'm looking it up right now. Yep, Belgrade Arena in Belgrade, Serbia is where the fights are this weekend as well. Another morning UFC fight coming up on Saturday as well. Medic and Daniel Rodriguez is the main card here coming up. Navajo Sterling's in this fight. We've talked about him in fights before as well. I'm looking to see really quick while I'm talking about this. Is actually, at least for names that I recognize, some pretty big fighters here that I've heard of as a casual guy here as well, coming up into this fight this weekend. So we'll talk that with Lou, of course. Maybe he's got some NFL stuff for us as we're getting closer, and Hall of Fame game just a week away as well. But Serbia this weekend, 10 a.m. will be the main card on Saturday morning. So an hour later than last weekend, which the main card started at 9 a.m. last week as well. So Uncle Lou in tomorrow. Dale will be in at the beginning of the show like always. And don't forget, we're back to our 5-day-a-week schedule here. Our summer break, quote unquote, is done. Yeah, we're back in here doing live shows on Friday. McCollum on Business. And, of course, this show live on YouTube, TME Media AZ. Come and join us. If you can't catch us live and join us in the YouTube chat, well, of course, join us afterwards via on demand as well, and share us with your friends or on your favorite podcast systems out there. Robert says, do you think the Bucks would do Brissett for Baker? Wouldn't that be great if they did? Just heads up, just one for one. Look, that whole exercise was just me dreaming. I do think, though, just think about the possibilities. And Baker, to me, I like Baker Mayfield. I do. I like him as a quarterback. But he's one of those quarterbacks that I think he's good. I think he's better than good. But I'm also like, do you want him on your team? You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining it right. It's just there's something that holds you back a little bit on him, in my eyes. But that being said, I'd take him on the Cardinals tomorrow. I think the team vastly improves if you have a Baker Mayfield on this team. And 100%. They're not going to pay for him. No doubt about it. But it'd be fantastic to see. Hey, I'm calling the Cardinals out. Go surprise us all. Go do it. Robert also says, you would think a reporter would at least have the Citizens app. You get notified of accidents. Well, that was the thing. I've been looking into this. Let me rephrase it. I've been reading about this. I don't go to the Citizens app. I don't do any of that stuff. Ethan does a lot of that stuff. I don't. But that's the other side of it. They miscategorized the report. Like even they might have updated it now, but as of yesterday, that's why when Shanahan said, I'm completely at fault, there was a police report on one of those types of sites that they filed saying it was the other driver's fault and didn't identify Shanahan. They found out about that report because once you found out about the accident, you're able to go back and deconstruct it. So the government entities were putting stuff in wrong. There's also the case where the actual call wasn't in the reporting when it happened. And for several days afterwards as well. That's why I was talking yesterday that why are we hiding this thing? Why is everybody hiding this thing all of a sudden? That's why I was going that way yesterday, just reading that type of stuff out there. He had to clarify it was his fault for an accident because the police had it listed as not his fault. So in the reporter's defense, I guess I could say, the information was inaccurate in the files and stuff like that. Now the question becomes, was it hidden on purpose? Was it put in there on purpose wrong to hide it? That's the question now moving forward in terms of the Shanahan situation. But like I said, it's hard to, hopefully I'm explaining this right. Obviously it's terrible. Get off your phone while you're driving. Could have killed an innocent 21-year-old girl by running into her. That wasn't a small accident, folks. And everything to that effect. The problem is, or the thing that's terrible. Let me put it this way. The whole accident thing was terrible. Shouldn't have happened. He made a huge mistake. Then the cover up. But you can't help but just sit there with today's day and age where Kyle Shanahan went in front of the media and said it was all his fault. Police report. He said the police report was wrong. It was my fault. He basically he's not just, he didn't basically. He went to that podium yesterday, took all responsibility for it. I was digging for my phone. He's admitting publicly where the insurance company, if there's any charges that could come out of, nobody got a ticket at the accident site. He could get one now by admitting it. And he still went ahead of it and did it. You just don't see that from a lot of leadership today. And that's impressive that he did. And it shouldn't be impressive. It should just be what gets done. But it doesn't happen that way. People won't admit to stuff because of the legal ramifications. People can't admit to stuff because of the legal ramifications and stuff like that. And for Shanahan to do that yesterday, it just showed me what type of person he is. And I never thought he was a bad person. Again, my beef with him is just he's a great offensive coordinator that I'm not sure as a head coach can get you to the promised land. And that's the worst thing I say about somebody, right? That's a pretty nice dang thing to say about him moving forward. Now, Robert says also, my only holdup is that the Cardinals don't have a good track record with Oklahoma QBs. Okay. If you put it that way, well, nope. Okay. I get that because Kyler Murray, Oklahoma, folks. If you don't know what he means by that. But second of all, Robert, but think of it this way. You know what they do have a good track record with? Aging quarterbacks. I almost said Kurt Russell. I just said Kurt Russell because that's the name that popped into my head there. In terms of aging quarterbacks, the Cardinals dealt with here. As my brain goes dark here on me, and Carson Palmer. I can't believe it's so funny how my mind just went blank on all these quarterbacks' names and everything. But Carson Palmer, right? Cincinnati, aging quarterback, went to the Raiders. Still had some system in him and stuff, but he was kind of, leading, going the opposite way when he got here. People didn't even want him here when he got here. Look at the way he was throwing the football and things to that effect, right? So as recently as Carson, now different regime here, offensive regime with the no biscuit system that they had here and stuff like that. So that's interesting, right? That you can deal with, out there. So there is a history of that. Of course, don't forget Kurt Warner, obviously. I mean, he was done in New York with Eli Manning going there. He was fumbling the football and could hang on to the football and everything like that. Comes here. So if you want to, I choose to look at it that way more than Oklahoma quarterbacks. Also, Baker Mayfield is, has rehabilitated himself in the league already. Kurt Warner with the Rams was a great quarterback. Does his little move around, goes to the Giants, struggles as an aging quarterback, comes here, rehabilitates. He is a rehabilitated quarterback already. Your job to keep that going once he gets here, type of a thing. Sam Bradford. He goes, Bradford too. I forgot Bradford was an uncle. Okay, never mind. No Baker Mayfield. You want to look at that? I was trying to look at the positive of quarterbacks, older quarterbacks that came here. I was thinking I was leaning that way, but now that you bring up Bradford, I take it all back. No Oklahoma quarterbacks are allowed here in Arizona ever again as well. Ethan says, Robert, I use Citizen and sometimes I don't get notified about accidents because the app can't always get the locations out there. And I'm not, I think the Citizens app is the one, doesn't that go, they monitor police calls and things like that. And that's how they get posted. But even I could tell you this, once the Niners announced it, a lot of people went back to the date of the accident and very little information at the time frame of that accident. They could nail down about when the accident happened and where the cross streets were, but not a lot of other details. Not even like who was hurt, who wasn't hurt, stuff to that effect. So that's kind of where I go on the side of why is this being hidden? Now, what I don't know is how often is that information not available? Does that happen all the time? Or was this a Coach Shanahan reason why this happened? Or does it happen all the time? I don't know the answer to that. I don't go in these circles. I don't deal with these circles. I don't know. I just know what it looks like on the surface. But regardless of all that, and like I said, I do not blame Coach Shanahan for not coming out and talking about this on the 15th, 20th, or whatever, 22nd. He was badly injured, folks. Again, my quote-unquote cover-up. Okay, why is the police report wrong? Why is this other stuff wrong? That's on the government side of it. Local reporters, why didn't they know about it and dig into it? Well, maybe they didn't because it wasn't put in this stuff right. Nobody could find out about it. It just happened to happen. If this happens during the season, we'll know about it right away because everybody sees the coach every day. This just happened during a break time in the NFL before the season started. That timing was right. So the local reporters maybe get a pass in this. But the NFL, ESPN, the way they reported on it, those are just where the question marks come in terms of my eyeballs on that. But I will give Shanahan all the credit in the world for stepping up to that microphone and doing what he did yesterday. It's easy not to do that. He might have even been advised by his people. Don't go up and do it, man. You're setting yourself up. You're admitting liability. You're admitting you're digging for your phone. That 21-year-old girl now has a lawsuit against you for that accident. And you just admitted it to the NFL world out there. But he stepped up and did the right thing. That's why you have insurance. That's why you have all those protections. And he still stepped up and handled it. I just can't commend him enough for doing that. You don't see that enough nowadays and stuff like that. I told you earlier, yesterday was my favorite time of year. It really is. Last year, Jerry Jones gave us the Micah Parsons conversation of, I could sign him tomorrow, but he can get hurt right away. Why aren't I protected? So maybe we don't sign him for as big of a money because then I'm out if he gets hurt. Like he did that whole conversation last year. But Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and the Dallas Cowboys brass goes to the microphones, opening of training camp. Well, that was yesterday. Very uneventful for the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. But watching the feed there on the Cowboys YouTube page yesterday, I pulled this little clip here from Jerry Jones. And I'll just tell you this. Basically, it's the thing I take away from this is there anybody more optimistic on how their team or their business is going to look this year than Jerry Jones? His optimistic viewpoints on this, whether he believes it or not. He says the same thing every year, no matter how bad the team is. And I admire it a little bit. Here's Jerry Jones yesterday doing his press conference. It's about a minute long. Here he is, Jerry Jones, talking about it.
One other thing I'd say that Stephen was commenting on is, candidly, I'd be very interested. I'd give up future to add substantive to where we are today as to a player, to give you an idea about would I invest something substantive to get the right kind of deal to improve us opening day. I would. I feel that good about this team this year. And of course, you know that I haven't seen this team play together. And so, but in general, looking ahead, I think we've got a chance to be worthy of spending some future if we saw an opportunity.
Those kinds of conversations that are ongoing, or is that something, hey, let's look at the first 2 weeks of camp and then address to see if you want to put something substantial?
I talked to yesterday. I talked about a situation yesterday with another team and another owner. Yesterday.
Sorry, it just cracks me up. Who goes to the mic? He probably talks to owners all the time about stuff like that. He's out there talking about, oh, a trade could be coming. Now, I will say this. Last year, he talked like, it was the last year or the year before. I think it was last year. He talked like that. And literally a few days later, a trade happened, and stuff like that. But I don't know. I find the way he talks interesting. He always, let's compare and contrast. What you just saw there, where's Michael Bidwell's press conference? Did I miss it? Did you guys catch it? Did I miss it? Talking about the state of this team and where it's at. About his excitement on the season. Whether it's true or not, what he's looking at to improve this team. He's high on the team, but he's still looking to improve the team. Where's Michael Bidwell at? Anybody seen him? Team's practicing. Hall of Fame game. Less than a week away. Well, a week away from today. From tomorrow, excuse me. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow, a week from tomorrow. Where's Michael Bidwell's press conference talking about his optimism on this team and what he wants to see in possibly adding help to this Cardinals team? Is Michael Bidwell saying, hey, I've commanded Monty to go out there and see what the best option is? You have guys holding out right now that might become available. Baker Mayfield's contract extension. Jerry Jones is saying he's out talking to people to improve his team. Which owner would you rather have? Now, I get it. Jerry Jones won 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. Somebody close to us, right? We know him well. Who was on those teams? What since then, though, right? Since that era, since then, what? Would you rather have the owner that stays quiet, mysterious in ways, like Michael Bidwell, doesn't do press conferences, not out front of everything, talking about stuff? Would you rather have that owner? Or would you rather have a Jerry Jones? I can tell you this, Cowboys fans have been tired of Jerry Jones for a long time. I guess this question should be posed to Cowboys fans. Do you want to switch owners? I'm just sitting there every year. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones sits at that podium. Jerry Jones just, I get it. He's old. I get it. He's been around. He's old. It's just, he's old. It's hard to look at times when he's talking and stuff like that. right? But they go out there every time. They take the arrows. They took the arrows last year with Micah Parsons. They took the arrows with Dak and CeeDee Lamb the year before, and they just sit up there and they talk and they say dumb things a lot of times, and we all make fun of them for saying the dumb things. But they're up there. Where's Michael Bidwell's conversation with the media? Where's Michael Bidwell's pulling up a table and inviting people to come out and listen to him speak? Even if you don't take questions, just speak on your team. Have a state of the team meeting. Where's it at? Anybody seen it? Did I miss it? Did I sleep through it? Did it not pop up on my feed? Did they block me for some reason? Our Cardinals ownership, folks, right? So Warren Sharp came out with a new strength of schedule for all 32 NFL teams in camps. They're all into camp now. So he went through Warren Sharp, if you don't know, very big analytics guy. He does predictive NFL analytics, puts it all into visualized data, puts out charts, everything like that. It's what he has a 600-page 2026 football preview book, right? Uncle Lou. That's what he goes through that book and makes his notes and does his calculations and everything for the season. He just finished it out. He told you last Thursday he just finished up all 32 teams last week as he's formulating, how to go into the season, who has the most rest days, when they play here, when do they play on the road, how many road games do you got in a row, things to that effect. That information from Warren Sharp. This is that dude for these analytic numbers. 600-pager this year, folks, breaking down every team out there. I do find it interesting and fascinating what he says about the Cardinals. We're actually going to get into that a little bit as well. But he updated yesterday. He updated the strength of schedule with everybody reporting to camp. Now, we have holdouts. Bijan Robinson, as we told you, is out. Gibbs, the running back, is still with Detroit. I got him and Montgomery confused. He's still with Detroit. They're hold-ins, I should say, not holdouts. They reported to camp, but sitting out. Baker Mayfield's going to end contract talks. He's expected to play for the Bucks, but no more talking in terms of a new contract for him. My buddy, I call him Vita Vea because love his name. I just love the dude. I love that guy as a defensive tackle. But, he's available. He wants to be traded, and even though the Bucs say they're not going to trade him out there. So you have some question marks still. But Warren Sharp went out there, and he pulled the latest odds to reflect the current opinion of the teams out there in terms of strength of schedules. If you don't know, the Cardinals, most people, if not everybody, has them as the hardest strength of schedule in the NFL this year. And it's hard to argue with. It's hard to argue with that. Every team they play, maybe one team in their first 12 games are playoff contenders. Even their preseason games, I know they're preseason games, right? But even their preseason games are launching up there. Start with the Chargers, playoff contender. Then they got the Seahawks at home, playoff contender. Then they got the 49ers on the road, playoff contender. Then, like I said, the one team that might not be a playoff contender, we'll have to see what Harbaugh does with them, is the Giants. That might be the one non-playoff team, contending team that they're going up against early in the season. Then they got the Lions at home, playoff contender. Then they got the Rams, playoff contender. Broncos, playoff contender. Then they got the Cowboys. Should be a playoff contender. They're not going to do a big run, but they should be in contention for a playoff run this year. Make the playoffs. Cowboys. And partly because of their division. Now, the Eagles are probably going to win that division. We'll have to see what the Commanders rebound from last year. How healthy is their quarterback? But I think the Cowboys will be in a playoff talk as that season goes on. Then you got the Seahawks again. Then the Rams again. Then the Chiefs. Then the Commanders. As I said, lots of question marks around them. Can they be a playoff contender? Yes, they could. Now, by the time the Cardinals play them, they might be out of it, depending on the quarterback situation, injuries, new offensive, defensive coordinator, some other things with them. But they could be there. Then you got the Eagles, playoff contender. Jets, no. So far of their schedule, 3 teams, 2 maybe playoff contenders. Well, 3 total. 3 maybes, Giants, Cowboys, and Commanders are maybe playoff contenders. Everybody else is a playoff contender so far. Then the Jets, not a playoff contender. But that's 4 teams that they have on their schedule, folks. They play 17 games so far. Saints, that's a maybe as well. So that's 5 teams. 4 are maybe playoff contenders, 1 definitely not. Raiders, not a playoff contender. So that's 6 teams of their 17 schedule, not playoff contenders. Now they're a no, so they're with the Jets to me. So 4 are maybes, 2 are definite no's in my eyes. And then you finish up with the 49ers. That's the hardest schedule in football, folks. Then you factor in that they have very few home games to begin the season. They're on a road for a lot of those. Yeah. Very difficult. Warren Sharp has the Cardinals as the hardest schedule out there. He has the Dolphins second. This is updated yesterday. Dolphins second, Panthers third, which is interesting because Panthers playoff run, right? Went with Tampa Bay last year, fought to the last game of the season with them. They have a commanding hard schedule, according to what everybody's saying out there. Commanders are 4. Cowboys, 5th hardest schedule right now in terms of the analysis updated yesterday. Easiest schedules, Lions, Bengals, Saints, Jets, and Ravens. The Jets, their problem is they have the Bills. Dolphins are going to be terrible in their division. I think the Dolphins are going to be the worst division in that East. I'm working on my layouts and who's winning what division and stuff like that right now. I think the Dolphins are going to be the worst team in that division. Bills, Patriots. I tend to favor the Patriots to win the division right now, but they're 1-2. The question becomes then, Jets have the 4th easiest schedule, according to Warren Sharp's analysis. Can the Jets stick up and get one of those wild card spots? Possible. I don't think so, but they're saying possible. Watch out for the Ravens. Everybody's going under 11.5 Ravens in terms of their schedule this year. New coaching staff, things to that, but they also have what on paper is an easier schedule. How do they work Lamar in and stuff like that is kind of the question you got to look at. So there you go, folks. Updated there as well. That you look at. Now keep in mind, like teams like Cincinnati, right? He updated this. Bengals are 2 on the easiest schedule. Remember, Cincinnati plays the Browns twice, division foe. They play the Dolphins on their schedule and then the Bucs also. The Browns, Dolphins, and Bucs, according to Warren Sharp, those teams rank in the top 4 of teams whose win totals have been bet against the most since June, by the way. Meaning they're going to underperform their win totals. They're not going to get to Vegas's numbers there on that side as well. Yeah. Football, right? NFL football coming our way out there as well that we're dealing with. We'll get more into that, of course, as we get closer. As Uncle Lou, we'll see if he has anything for us tomorrow, as well when that comes up. Robert says, if you only plan on being here for a short time, why wouldn't you give up something in the future? Legacy chasing. So I don't know this for a fact. I hesitate to say this because I don't know this for a fact. I prodded Dale on see what he's heard and things to that effect. Jerry Jones still has the power in the Cowboys organization. Stephen Jones can overrule him, a la Johnny Manziel way back in the day. Jerry wanted Manziel. Stephen overruled him. Kept him from going there on the draft pick. I think what's happening right, and I'll tell you this, Stephen Jones, think of it like baseball with the Yankees. Old man Steinbrenner would do whatever it takes to win, spend whatever it takes, go into debt as much as it takes, blow up the minor league system to get somebody to help him win. He would do whatever it takes. Well, Hal, his kid, Hal Steinbrenner, kids Steinbrenners, don't operate that way. They operate within means. Jerry Jones would give up his left foot and anything else to put a Super Bowl win on his in another Super Bowl wins in his thing before he goes. Steven ain't going to operate the team that way, I don't think. I think Steven's going to be more controlled, more responsible in his own. Doesn't mean he doesn't want to win. I'm not saying that. But he's not going to go to the extremes that Jerry goes through to win. I think Jerry wants to mortgage the future for a Super Bowl run. I think he's being stopped by the kids. I think the kids are kind of overruling that, like, hey, we won a Super Bowl trophy too, but when you're gone, we're going to have to deal with those ramifications and build it up and things to that effect. I'm guessing nobody's told me that. Just putting some nuggets together that I've heard from people. Not Dale. I've had Dale up on this as well. Over the last several years, just trying to see like what he thinks he would do, and things to that effect. I just think the kids have enough power that they're able to stop that mortgaging of the future. So when you hear that clip from Jerry, I talked to somebody yesterday because I agree with you, Robert. I'm 80-something years old. I know I only have a few more years left on this planet, let alone playing the Cowboys, owning the Cowboys and being in charge of the Cowboys. Like, even if he lives another 10 years, I'm just throwing out a number, he's eventually going to have to turn over this whole team to his kids. He can't be running into that. Just like Bill Bedwell did and gave it to Michael and had Michael run it. He was still around and still had a say and stuff into that, but they ran it. But if I was Jerry Jones, I don't care. I'm not going to be here. Let's sell our souls right now to go win another championship. So that's what tells me the kids might have something to say about that. Hey, wrap up the show here with this, folks. I know training camps are all in now. Everybody's reported. First preseason game, Hall of Fame game, which I normally don't care about, but obviously. The thing I like about the Hall of Fame game is not the football on the field. This year, I'm going to pay attention because Carson Beck will get the start. Carson Beck will get some playing time, right, as a rookie. You'll see no veterans in that Hall of Fame game. No Walter Nolans. No starting offensive linemen. Nobody will start in that first game on Thursday night Hall of Fame game. Carson Beck will. I want to see what Carson Beck can do. He'll get a lot of playing time. But also the thing I love about the Hall of Fame game, just the interviews with the Hall of Fame guys. They bring them in, between commercial breaks. They talk to them, set it up. Obviously, the focus for us as Cardinals fans and Cardinals people here in Phoenix is Larry Fitzgerald. That's what we're most interested in. And I already told you guys, right? Like everybody, we could sit here and talk till we're blue in the face about Larry's football accomplishments, what a great guy he is off the field. So I challenged Bruce Cooper yesterday to say when he comes in next Tuesday, he knows Larry, folks. He's been around him, covered him for a long time. I challenged him to don't give us a Larry Fitzgerald football story. We know those stories. We know what phenomenal he was on the field. We know his mistakes of leaving the field early in his career, and he had to fix that and stuff to that effect. We know what a great human being he is. Coop said before, right, on their turkey drives that he does, that he's still involved in, but he started with Channel 12. Larry shows up and buys pallet of turkeys, thousands of dollars. He just cuts a check, pays for it for donation. Any water drive that they do, he buys a ton of water for everybody out there, for those water drives. He's a fantastic human being. We know those stories. So I challenged Bruce yesterday. He said he already has it. It came to him quickly. Tell us about the man Larry. So that's coming up this Tuesday with Bruce Cooper. Tell us about the man Larry. Not the football. We know the football player, Larry. We know his exploits. We know that he deserves to be in this Hall of Fame, and we know what he is as a human being. Give us a story that nobody knows about him. So we'll see what Coop says next week as well, coming up with that. But that's the thing I love about the Hall of Fame game is just those stories. Well, football's just on. It's broken down. It's preseason. It's none of the starters play type of a thing. So I'm looking forward to next Thursday night. Marv probably won't be playing in that game and stuff like that either. So, it's just other than that, not really a reason to watch. But so we have that going on. Then, of course, folks, we got college football 1 month away from today, August 29th. 1 month from now, Saturday, we get our first taste of college football. And we'll be talking, of course, ASU and U of A as their camps get underway and things to that effect. Saturday, August 29th, folks, just setting the stage for you. Now, these aren't games where you're going to just jump up and down about. From Dublin, Ireland, starts at noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. out here in the West Coast. On ESPN, you got University of North Carolina. Bill Belichick and all those troubles, they're traveling to Dublin, and that'll be our first football game of the season. Now, keep in mind, in terms of, D1 football, but they're playing a Big 12 team in TCU. You don't want to watch that game for UNC other than Bill Belichick. I expect them to be bad again this year. But TCU, what TCU team shows up over there on the other side of the pond? It'll be fascinating to watch that game. Also on the August 29th, you got San Jose State and USC from Los Angeles on NBC. You got North Carolina State playing Virginia. Virginia was in the ACC championship game last year as well. JVST, I don't know who that is, against North Dakota State. Don't forget, North Dakota State moved up. They're no longer Division II. They moved up this year as well for them. Who's JVST is my question. Sacramento against Eastern Michigan. Hawaii at Stanford at the evening time, 7 p.m. Stanford, obviously, in the ACC. New Mexico State and Florida State battling it out, 7 p.m. on that night as well, Eastern time there. And a game I'm looking forward to. Jacksonville State is what Ethan, Jack State is where you got the JVST is against North Dakota State. North Dakota State, like I said, stepping up. But the game I'm looking forward to also in this is 7 p.m. out here on the West Coast, 10 p.m. Eastern. Memphis at UNLV. I'm kind of high on UNLV this year. They've been having some pretty decent season now. They made the mistake, I feel. UNLV made a drastic mistake for their school. They stayed in the Mountain West. They should have moved to the Pac-12, and they decided to stay. I think UNLV made a monumental mistake by staying there. But I also think they're the favorite to win their conference this year because other teams moved out and went to the Pac-12. And I want to see how they fare up against Memphis because I'm expecting big things against UNLV this year. They have talent up there as well, up there in Las Vegas for that team. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. A month away, folks, setting the stage for you there as well. And we'll keep rolling here on it and pay attention to college football and obviously NFL. Cardinals back out there practicing again today. Diamondbacks on the field right now. Let me look this up here real quick and see what the score. I'll update you right now. If you're recording it to stay at home, well, we're about to end the show, so you can turn it off if you'd like to here so I don't ruin your surprise for you. Diamondbacks 0-0 with the Pirates. Bottom of the second. 2 outs is what we're looking at right now. Of course, they started Erod on the mound at 9:30. See how this rebound game goes today after yesterday out there as well. Pit Stop will be up later on today as well. We have it up by 2 o'clock for you. No racing this weekend. IndyCar's off. NASCAR's actually off. All the series are off this weekend. We'll look back at last weekend, talk some news here coming up. We'll have that up by 2 o'clock on Rumble and, of course, on YouTube as well on demand. Come and join the Pit Stop later on, including the podcast systems out there. For everybody else, we'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock here for the main event. Uncle Lou in tomorrow. We'll see you then.